Okay, welcome back to my channel. Here is my newly constructed little 12 volt solar shed table. This came out really good. It took me quite a long time to make this because of my recent hospital stay and all that. But I got it done, so it's going to basically be my home charging station where I'll charge up all my different little electronic toys, cameras, cell phone, tablet, and all the rest. And eventually the batteries, the lithium batteries will be on here, as well as a charge controller. So today I think I'm going to go ahead and wire up my Grape solar panel here. I need to put my new leads on here, figure out how I want to do that, and I also want to add the a voltmeter to this, probably just glue it right on the back. So when this thing is sitting up in the windowsill, I'll be able to instantly read what the voltage is, whether it's connected up to the charge controller or not. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I've made my cable for this Grape solar panel. It will plug directly in to the charge controller very easily. Not going to worry about that for the time being. I've got a inline fuse there, and I've wired in my little voltmeter. Well, eventually this is all going to be kind of mounted, all glued. I'll glue that on there and mount it tight, because I only need about 4 or 5 feet of cable to reach my charge controller. But right now I want to test this thing out. I did test the cable out with the ohm meter, and everything works perfect. Okay, I got the thing just sitting there leaning up against a bar stool. It's about 8 or 10 feet away from the window. It's a very overcast and cloudy day outside, and if I step in front of it, the meter will actually stop working. So that's how close it is. I couldn't read that because it's upside down, but it is functioning. But I really want to test it against the ANOVA, so I'm going to have to move the thing over here much closer. Okay, we got a pretty good rainstorm coming through right now, but we also got a little bit of sunlight, as you can see my car out there. So I ended up setting the panel up here in the window. So I got the ANOVA hooked up. The little meter here is telling me I've got 19.1 volts. That's pretty good for a heavily overcast day. Let's turn the ANOVA on there. Hopefully the camera can see it. 19.1. That's what I like about this cheap little Chinese meter. It's basically telling me the same thing my ANOVA is. So I think it's probably pretty accurate. So anyway, there we are. It is working. So any more experimenting and fooling around with this is going to have to wait for another day. Okay, April 18th, 2017 on a Tuesday afternoon, and I am fooling around with my solar panel in the window and my newly constructed solar shed inside my house. And it's a pretty nice day outside. Alright, I left off 4 or 5 days ago, having constructed my nice little table here. As I had said, I had previously been in the hospital for 5 days What happened to me is I'm on 2 different types of high blood pressure medicine, have been for over a year, and one of them decided to start going haywire on me, and I didn't realize I was sick. And ultimately, I was very, very sick on April 4th, April 3rd and April 4th. And then on April 5th, I was supposed to return back to work, but I'd called in sick that day. And I don't remember anything about that day, honestly. So it was probably on that Wednesday that I collapsed here in my house, had a seizure because I depleted all the sodium in my body and my brain just shut off. So I could have been down on the floor for as long as 12 or 15 hours. When I didn't show up for work the next day, my boss actually came here to my house. Just somehow he knew something was wrong, and he got the local police department involved, and they kicked down my door and found me in the bathroom where I had been laying in a pool of blood because I bit my tongue really bad and during the seizure. And off to the hospital I went, where I spent 3.5 days in the ICU. I really don't remember anything up until then. And then I spent another 2.5 days or so in general population in the 2 West. So the problem has been solved, but honestly, I almost died. I wouldn't have been able to continue laying on that floor for another day. So I am very, very grateful that I got a second chance. So on to my solar that I'm doing today. I decided to put my solar panel up. I've also got my 3 battery banks here. Over a month ago, I had completed 3 of these little Tesla style packs. This first one that I'm actually charging right now is just a little 12 volt pack, a 3S pack. And we got, plugged the meter in here, the little voltmeter. I actually ran this down a little bit this morning, and that's why I'm charging it back up. It's already up to 12.7 volts. So it's just about ready to shut off. The charge controller is. I also built this and charged up this little 4S pack. It's a 16 volt. And it's holding. I've got it plugged in as the auxiliary battery to power this up so it doesn't steal power from the solar panel. This one's holding good. It's been connected for a few hours. Just charging up that little GT power meter. We've got our Innova here. We can check to see what my battery bank is doing, and it's 12.65 volts. It should be shutting itself off anytime. The charge controller should. And then of course I've got the big 12 volt pack. This is a 9 cell pack that I built, and it also is holding really good. These have been sitting for over a month. And so you can plug that in. 12.5 volts, it's fully charged. I haven't actually used any of those except this one. So I got my little charging station set up here. Just fooling around with it a little bit today. I go back to work tomorrow, and I work the next 5 days straight, so I won't get to do anything more. So I'm just kind of experimenting with it today. I really like having the solar panel up here in the window. It's working out pretty good. For my next project, I think I am going to build my own little DIY LED light that will be designed to be mounted onto this this camera stand that this camera's on right now. I've been wanting to do that for quite a while. One of the people I'm subscribed to on YouTube, Jihu Garcia down in San Diego, he built a really nice one, but he spent about $100 on his. I'm going to spend about $10 on mine, and it's not going to be anywhere near as nice, but it's going to be the same thing. It's just going to be using stuff I have here around the house. So that'll be coming up next. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching.